Now it is time for science. We're on chapter 10 in our activity manual. We are on page 125, and we want to do 125, 126, 127 today. So I want to talk to you where we left off last week. We talked about changes to matter, and we're on gases to liquids. We talked about this picture of the water droplets on the window. So let me give you a recap. Remember, matter can change form when it is heated. Okay, matter can also change form when heat is removed and it is cooled. Cooling a gas can change it to a liquid. When a gas changes to a liquid, we say the gas condenses. So think about this. You've poured water into a glass. Later, you notice little water droplets on the outside of the glass. The cold glass cooled the air touching it. It cooled some of the water vapor in the air. The water vapor condensed and became drops of liquid, like you see on the window sill and the window pane in the glass. Okay, there's your water vapor. Now let's go to liquid to solid. So think about a frozen treat like a popsicle on a stick. We've taken liquid and turned it into a solid. So liquids can change when they are cooled. Cooling a liquid makes it change to a solid. We say that the liquid freezes. Juice is a liquid, but when it is poured into a container and put into the freezer, it changes. The freezer cools the juice. The liquid juice changes into a solid frozen treat. You may not think the wax of a candle freezes, but it does. The hot melted wax drips down the side of the candle as a liquid. It moves away from the heat of the flame. It cools and changes back to a solid. This form of the wax is frozen. So the question, what happens to a gas when it is cooled? What happens to a gas when it is cooled? Remember, we say it is frozen. Now the next time that we do an activity together, we're going to change to a solid. So you'll do this for your activity, changing to a solid. Okay, so that's where we're going to mark our page in our textbook. If you're on the teachertoolsonline.com, remember you can go on teachertoolsonline.com and you'll see your chapter 10 teaching videos, and that'll give you some more tips for learning about matter. Now we're on page 125 in your activity manual. It says, complete the definitions. If needed, use the glossary. Now a glossary is like a little dictionary, okay? So we don't have a glossary in our activity manual, but you do have maybe a dictionary in your home. So number 1, matter is anything that has blank and takes up blank. Remember, matter is, let's go back to our book. I'll read you the definition. Anything that has mass and takes up space. Number 2, mass is the amount of blank in an object. Does that look familiar? Mass is the amount of matter in an object. Matter. A solid is the form of matter that keeps its own blank, its own shape. It keeps its own shape and size. Keeps its own shape and it keeps its own size. Number 4, liquid. Liquid is another form of matter that changes shape. Remember, it changes shape to fit whatever size container it is in. Okay, so it changes shape to fit its container while its blank stays the same. Remember, while it's amount, the amount of it stays the same. We may have changed the container, but we didn't change the amount. Number 5, gas. A gas is also a form of matter that changes both its shape and size. Gases are the only kind of matter that always fill their containers. So a gas is the form of matter that changes shape and size. So we can see that through a ball. Number 6, you need to study and understand matter in order to use it in blank ways. How many ways? Do you remember? Solid, liquid, gas, change and make it in different ways. Okay. Number 7, name those 3 forms of matter for me. Solid, liquid, gas. Turn the page. Now you get to bubble. It says blank has mass and takes up space. Blank has mass and takes up space. I want you to bubble. It keeps its own shape, changes shape to fit its container, size stays the same, changes size to fill its container. So on number 8 through 12, I want you to bubble and think about the form of matter. If you get confused, go back over to the front side that we just did together. It tells you the definition of solid, liquid, gas on number 3 through 5. So use what we wrote in 3 through 5 to help you on the back with 8 through 12. Now that you understand how to change liquids, solids, and gases, you're going to do a fun crossword puzzle. You have a word bank, and you're going to use the words correctly in the puzzle to match the clues. Okay, remember, if it goes across, write your word that way, down, vertical. Okay, so you have 8 words to use. The words are condenses, liquid, evaporates, melts, freezes, solid, gas, water vapor. And then on Friday, you get to do your activity, changing a solid. So be ready Friday. You may want to look ahead today to see the materials you're going to need to conduct this experiment. Remember, we used to do these together in the classroom, but now you have to do this one for fun at home. So I hope you've enjoyed learning in your science today about solid, liquids, and gases and how to change them. Enjoy the rest of your day, boys and girls. Bye-bye.